TxStampin Sharon. I'm super excited about today's card. We're pulling out that beautiful Noble Peacock foil and the Peacock. It's time. It's time for us to play with the Peacock. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, you can do so below. After you do that, you can hit the notification bell. And you know what? I would love to hear your comments. Tell me your oohs and ahs. Tell me what you think about the paper, the stamp set, and my card. Today I want to introduce you to the Noble Peacock Suite. When you purchase the suite, and I know it seems pricey, it's $92.75. You get everything that it shows here. You get the stamp set, you get the framelits, you get the embossing folder, you get that gorgeous paper that is just blah, and you get the foil, so you get the designer series paper and the foil. You get the little baubles, you get the ribbon, okay? So when you first look at all this, you go, oh, that looks so hard, it's so complicated. We're gonna bring it down really easy today because we're gonna use the framelits, the stamp, and the papers, okay, to make this card. I mean, it is gloriously gorgeous. It is so pretty and so simple. Here are the Noble Peacock rhinestones. They come in all these colors, okay, so just really super pretty. Here is that folder that I mentioned that when you buy the bundle. By the way, you can just get the stamp set and the framelits. You don't have to buy that $92 bundle, okay? You don't have to do that. But you better get that paper. I'm just warning you now, you better get that paper. All right, so the framelit, or the embossing folder, I love when it has a line at the bottom because these designs, if you get them crooked, you're gonna notice it on the card, okay? So my biggest tip is to line that up. I know I've talked about this before on other videos, but line your edge of your paper up, and then when you do, you have this perfect design. Now on this card, I didn't use it. And I decided we're gonna step it up a little bit. I'm gonna add this layer to this card and we'll just see. I just think giving it this texture on the background is gonna help make it really pop. So here is the stamp set and here is the framelit. This is the framelit that I used. I'm working on another video that just uses this part. So anyway, there's just different ways to use this stamp set and those framelits. All right, let's make our card. So I have already cut out our gorgeous peacock and my little fronds that are going to be going on our card. I have a piece of Whisper White Thick, which is my preference. It just is such a good weight. It is 5.5 by 8.5. Scored and folded at 4 1/4. Give that a good crease. My Whisper White layer, and I tried different colors, but I was just happier with the Whisper White, is 4 inches by 5 1/4 because this is the star of the show. We don't want to take away from the star of the show. And we're going to go ahead and we're just going to add this on with some liquid. I just feel like it really gets down into those embossed areas and your layer is not going to fall off. A big plus too is if you're just starting off with card making, the liquid glue is a very goof-proof, user-friendly glue. Because if you get something on straight, you have a few seconds to shift it and get it exactly the way you want it, okay? All right. We're gonna bring in our silicone mat and we're going to add our peacock to our card front. You can do this several ways. I could pull out the liquid glue again. Oh, you know what? I need to because I'm putting it on an embossed area. I was gonna say on this card, when I did the first one, I just added glue or snail and it worked just fine. But this time, since we are adding it to an embossed layer, you will have better results if you will add it with liquid glue. So I'm just kind of hitting some of my solid areas making sure I'm catching the edges so that it won't lift up. Really want to catch the top. Pick her up. I color her. Oh, so pretty. Just all by herself. She's just gorgeous. I am going to blot with a paper towel because I do see some of the glue. And it's going to dry clear, but I didn't want any of the glue to be real globby when I'm working. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull in this punch, and I think it has an appropriate name, Pretty Label. First, we're going to stamp our sentiment. I'm using Pretty Peacock, which just seemed appropriate for this card. And if you're not sure, I mean, I've used this stamp quite a bit on some cards, so if you're not sure, you could punch out first, but it's pretty tight, and I prefer to stamp first and then punch it. So like I said, see how my Y and the tops of my letters are? You kind of have to really make sure you're catching it all, and it is hard to stamp on that and then punch it out. We're going to bring in some of that gorgeous blueberry bushel foil, and I'm going to punch again with the same punch. I'm going to take my snips and I'm going to cut it in half. And I'm going to mask this, or mat it, so that it looks really super pretty with that gold foil peeking through. So if you get it just right, whoops, and this foil, things stick to it, so it is a little tricky as far as making sure you have it lined up, but I wanted my sides to be lined up. So I'm really just looking at my sides and making sure that I'm straight. Whoops. There we go. Looks pretty good. Even though on the back it looks crooked as heck, but I'm just going to add 2 dimensionals. Let me bring my card back in. Before I do though, I want to add some more snail because I'm going to pick these up. And I want to add them so that they are sticking out. And I'm kind of hovering over so that I'm not coming off the card. I hope my hand's not in the way of the camera. Whoops. Ah. I see my challenge. I'm going to go ahead and remove that backing from the dimensional because that's what's preventing it from sticking. And then we have one more. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous card. And easy, okay? So I don't want you to be intimidated when you look at that Peacock set. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to add some of these beautiful jewels. And I think I went with the Peacock color. We're going to add 3. Let's just do it. I'm trying to add it in between the design. Okay, so this one, we stepped it up a bit. We have our texture. And then this one we don't. I like them both. I love them both. What am I saying? I love them both. There's one last thing we want to do. So our sentiment says, so very proud of you. And so we're going to open up our, some of my pads are a little bit harder to open, but if you'll pop it at the top, you'll be happy. We're going to add a sentiment on the inside. And this says, congratulations on such an amazing accomplishment. Now we're all done. Okay, what'd you think? Pretty easy, huh? When I first got the stamp set, I thought it looked a little complicated. I was like, I don't know how this works. We got this. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy stamping, y'all.